Well, garage sales can be a huge money maker, but only if you know the trick. Do you know what the trick is?
What is it?
It's organizing.
I thought of the prompter. I couldn't even act surprised. Our resident Miss Fix-It and organizing guru, Jennifer Phelps, is here to share her tips and tricks.
She'd be a horrible poker player.
I know, poker player. I have a bad
No, what is it?
poker face.
I have no idea. Let's introduce our guest.
I know. I'm like, what is it? It's in the prompter. It's organizing.
There you go. Well, speaking of yard sales and garage sales, since there aren't too many garages, there are garages here in Tucson, but there's a lot of yards as well. So whatever you call it, garage sale, yard sale, whatever. You either love them or you hate them. They can be just a hassle to put on, but the rewards can be really good because clears tons of stuff out.
Yes.
And it can make you money. So that's the thing about it. So the thing that happens is, so you can have them any time of the year, but in Tucson it's more popular in the cooler months, so fall really gearing up for the yard sales, and spring cleaning is really a great time. Summer months not so much, and not even so much in the winter, but you can have them any time. Usually, Friday, Saturday is really good. The first weekend of the month, people who go to garage sales tend to have more cash in pocket.
Yes.
So that's something to consider. Also start early, because people are going to be poking around early, so start at 7 and end at 2. You know, so that kind of thing. Keep that in mind. So, and how long does it take to put on a garage sale?
Depends on the stuff and how much.
Well, imagine how long it'll take and then multiply by 3. But the thing is, what you want to do is weeks ahead, you want to pick a time and pick a date. If you want to have neighbors involved, because neighborhood sales bring in a lot more than individual sales, let your neighbors know in advance. And at that time, start pulling things out. Designate a place in your home, your garage, your guest room, some place where you can start accumulating things. Take a little time to wipe it off, wash the clothes, because things that are clean make more money than things that are not. So as you're doing all of that, you get all your stuff out, you can start pricing things. Ideally, you price everything individually. It's easier for you, it's easier for the people coming to your sale. If you can't price things individually, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can use tabletop signs like this, earrings $5 a pair, or if you do 3 pairs for $12 if you want to move stuff. People will want to haggle, so give a little room for haggling and also be creative about it so people think they're getting something fun and something good.
If you got some flat out,
and also if you've got some free stuff like a chair with a wiggly leg, for example, put that on the curb with a sign, and people will take those things and it'll bring people up, and so that's something to consider as well. So you want to, just a few days beforehand, post things on Craigslist, put things in the paper if you want to. If you're pricing items and you're not sure how much something is worth, I mean, you have to be realistic pricing things. You know, you really do. And you want to look at things and say, you know, if I didn't already own this, would I buy this now? Probably not.
That's a good perspective of looking at it.
Do I care what happens to this? Does it matter who gets this? If that matters to you, then you probably don't want to. And if I end up regretting selling it, is it irreplaceable? Those are things to think about. If you're looking at pricing, you want to be realistic, like with electronics, go on Craigslist, go someplace where you can get a local perspective on what you can reasonably get for that item, because you're not going to get what you paid for it.
Correct.
Just being aware of that. So anyway, when you arrange stuff, price it individually. Arrange like with like. That is really easy. Cookware stuff with jewelry, with whatever, so people can find things easier. Hanging clothes hanging sell a lot more easily and quickly than have you ever gone to a garage sale and you see stacks of clothes and stuff? Yeah, and if you haven't been to a garage sale and you're going to have one, you should go to a few before you go.
So you can figure out like what works, what you're attracted to, what you're drawn to.
Exactly, and curb appeal is important. So have a little bit of a marketing mind, because people will just drive by, and if they just see junk, they're not going to stop. If they see some cool stuff in front, they're more likely to stop for sure. So list it and tell your neighbors, put out flyers if you want to do that. And again, what? Okay. So the other thing you want to really know is that you're going to have to get rid of everything at the end.
Okay.
Plan ahead. So when you plan the date, you might want to plan for a donation truck to pick up late Saturday afternoon if you can, or that following Monday. So go ahead and plan ahead. Sometimes they are scheduling weeks ahead, especially if you have a specific day and time. But then you don't want to have to deal with all of that stuff. You don't want to have to load it in a pickup truck. Just get rid of it for a good cause, and then you get a tax deduction on whatever you don't sell.
Do you ever suggest, if you have a garage sale or yard sale one weekend, that you do it again the following weekend, or just one weekend, whatever doesn't sell, pack it up and give it away?
Well, you know, it really depends on how much stuff you've got. If you have enough stuff for 2 sales, then that's great. But remember, though, setting up takes time.
Yes.
Ideally, before you have a sale, you have a place where you can set up tables, you can set things up so the day of, you can just pull it out. If you don't have that space, you're going to have to tear down completely, set up again completely.
True. I always just think of
for the
garages
whole
where you
week.
just put the garage door down and
For
then
the
bring
whole
it right
week
back
in
up.
between, right. So you may or may not be able to have your car out, or you have a carport. So you have to think of where you're going to store stuff. And that's the thing, again, you can set up as much as possible the night before, really is a great idea. But if you don't have room for stuff, then you're going to have to be, that will limit what you can do.
Right.
So, and also a really quick thing, if you don't want to price everything individually, I have this little mock-up. We're going to pretend this is a tabletop. So if you have a bunch of little baby toys or little craft stuff, you can just put tape on a table and mark.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
You know, if you have tons of little things that are similar price, put them together and just mark it on the tabletop even. But you have to be clear in the pricing. And again, giving little freebies and say 3 for 2 or something like that will help things move out as well, because you want to get rid of stuff as well as making money.
Awesome.
Jennifer, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and happy
for joining us.
birthday.
Thank you. I know it's a good day. You can learn more tips online at miss-fix-it.com, or you can hire a professional organizer or wonderful Jennifer, which I highly recommend, by visiting TucsonProfessionalOrganizers.org.
When we come back, we'll introduce you to a pet that needs a forever home, and the Humane Society of Southern Arizona is here to tell us just how simple it is to adopt a furry friend. We'll be right back.